Welcome back. This is Ave Reese
and Reese reporting live from Griffin Hurricane News. Breaking news.
This just in. A tremendous hurricane named Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans today. It hit today at 6:10 CDT. And a mind-blowing 1,836 people have died so far as Hurricane Katrina came along. Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans today on August 23, 2005. Did you know that hurricanes happen most often between June and November, and usually hit states like Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Texas, South Carolina, and North Carolina?
What?
That's right. Hurricanes can affect anywhere between the eastern shore and all the way up to the state Maine. They usually occur on the West Coast and Pacific Islands.
Here's a before and after picture of an area in New Orleans destroyed from Katrina. So, you probably want to know where Hurricane Katrina hit. Well, according to this map, it said that it hit in New Orleans, Louisiana. Hurricane Katrina hit other states, but this state and this city was struck the hardest.
Did you know that Hurricane Katrina was the fourth biggest hurricane ever recorded in the U.S. history?
No, I did not.
That's right. A lot of people didn't survive, but most people did. Hurricane Katrina's wind, rain, and storm surge wiped out homes and businesses all over today. Large parts of the coastal areas in the coastal areas and the Pacific Islands.
Really? They all must have been terrified. Here's a live video for National Geographic.
Reporting the damage from New Orleans, Louisiana.
When Hurricane Katrina struck New Orleans, entire neighborhoods vanished under 20 feet of water. The devastation ranks as one of America's worst natural disasters, but also one of the worst man-made disasters. That's because since its early days, New Orleans has been sinking. The soil in and near New Orleans is a tenuous combination of silt, sand, and clay. Over time, the soil compacts and sinks. Before the Mississippi River Delta was developed, the river flooded regularly. Fresh silt from the floodwaters replaced the sinking ground and kept the land above sea level. But New Orleans is built to keep the river out. High walls called levees have been erected around the city to keep rising river levels at bay. They have also kept out the silt and sediments. Without the renewing sediments, New Orleans continues, ever so slightly, to sink. Its present rate is 3 feet every 100 years. Parts of New Orleans today are 8 feet below sea level. If another storm surge like Katrina reaches the levees, New Orleans will again be underwater. The odds of another flood are increasing because the ground under New Orleans is not all but shrinking. So are the surrounding wetlands. Every hour, another 2 acres of wetlands disappears under the sea. Like the sinking of New Orleans, the reasons are largely man-made. Canals dug through the wetlands increase erosion and destroy habitat, and levees help funnel the silt out into the Gulf before it can be absorbed by the coastal wetlands. Ironically, it is the wetlands, not the levees, that truly protect New Orleans from the sea. Every 3 miles of wetland absorbs a foot of a storm surge, acting as Mother Nature's insurance policy against hurricanes. Since 1930, Louisiana has lost over 1,900 square miles of wetlands. By 2050, many barrier islands will disappear altogether. New Orleans is still sinking. In unless something is done, the Big Easy will slip beneath the sea, with or without another hurricane.
Now, here's an interview of Jennifer Combs.
But stay tuned for even more information after the video.
I'm Marie Davidson, and I'm live at the guest home. Meet our guest. Here's our guest, Jennifer Combs. Can you tell us your experience with Hurricane Katrina?
Well, it was terrifying. I barely made it out alive. It was the huge flood, and there was the tremendous wave that was just washed up everything in sight. It was terrible.
How does this hurricane affect your home?
Well, it totally destroyed my home. I had nothing left, and it was pretty hard to get back on track. I had to stay with my mother until I was stable and had enough money for supplies to buy and build my own house.
You achieved your goals?
Yes, now I'm back on track. I have a better life, new home, and I've settled ourselves. Yeah, I'm glad I survived Hurricane Katrina.
Hurricanes can affect animals too, like guinea pigs and geckos. Be aware and stay prepared. Back to you, Griffin Hurricane News.
Hurricane Katrina's storm diameter is 405 miles or 650 kilometers.
In comparison, Hurricane Charlie's storm diameter is 155 miles or 260 yards.
As shown here, Hurricane Katrina is much bigger than Carly. Hurricane Katrina and other hurricanes occur when the air above is heated by the water and sun. The hot air rises due to convection, and this can make atmosphere low pressure, known as tropical depression. When the hot, moist air rises, some of the water vapor condenses to liquid H2O, and this phase change brings out more heat.
This heat makes air to rise even faster and create lower pressure in a feedback loop, making the hurricane stronger and stronger. Heavy rain comes from the moisture of water and warm, damp air. Strong wind results makes warm air rush into the low pressure eye of the hurricane.
On the chart, the triangle stands for the graph of the population of people in New Orleans. On the graph, it says that the number of deaths were 1,836. The population of people before Katrina arrived was 484,674. The count of people who were injured was 121,168. There were also 400,000 people homeless on the streets in New Orleans. Finally, the population of people after Katrina was 230,172.
Wow, that is like what happened to populations that still survived.
Also, on the chart, it says that Hurricane Katrina costed $81 billion in property destruction and claimed the title of the costliest hurricane ever in the U.S. history.
Finally, the economic impact in Louisiana and Mississippi may cost $150 billion in property destruction.
That's all for now.
Once again, this is Reese Fiddler
and Ave Reese. Stay safe
and stay tuned for updates of Katrina
on Griffin Hurricane News.